Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Ready, Set, Game. We are in our third week of our show, and I couldn't be more proud. We got lots of great news for you this week, so as always, sit back, buckle up, and let's game. The holidays are actually beginning to ramp up, and my wallet can already feel it. From Assassin's Creed 3 to Incredibie, I don't know how I'm going to have it all. So, like a band-aid, let's just get the releases out of the way nice and quick. Assassin's Creed 3 is our first release. Third week running this game has been in the show, but we can finally say it's been released for good, and there's a good chance you all are taking a break from playing it if you're watching this. Critics globally have been adoring this game. Minor gripes do hold steady across all reviews though, mainly the bugs that come with the game as open and as big as Assassin's Creed aims to be. Its scope and depth outweigh all of this in Assassin's Creed 3 though, as it definitely is the cream of the crop in the franchise. The game is ripe with things to do, from the main story arc to hunting in the wild, building a town, and forming your brotherhood. You'll be neck deep in this game for weeks to come. I know I had to tear myself away just to record, and I cannot wait to get back. And if Assassin's Creed wasn't enough, the RTS fanboy inside of me is dying to go and play more Natural Selection 2. A game that's a sequel to a mod and has been in development for close to a decade, Natural Selection 2 aims to be the first game of its type. Blending RTS and FPS genres together, you get a hell of a unique mix for a game. Aliens and Space Marines war with each other. One player on each side becomes the commander, looking down on the map in a classic RTS fashion. The commander is in charge of giving build orders, resource management, research management, and making good calls for your army as you do in any RTS. The kick is that all of your units are players. The rest of the players are actually playing the soldiers of the aliens. They only have access to the weapons and research the commander has issued. Have a ton of aliens at your doorstep? You could really use a shotgun right now to blast them all away? Well, you better hope the commander researched it and not sentries like he probably has for defense. Otherwise, the shotguns are going to be locked. Are Marines getting you down? Wish you could just cloak and hide from all the troubles of the world until you are ready to strike? Well, you better hope your commander researched stealth for aliens, as otherwise it'll be locked and unavailable to you. It's an insanely unique concept and one I've had a daydream about since I was probably 8 in the early days of Warcraft 2. You can find it now on Steam for $24.99. Halo 4. So much to say, and yet I'm sure it's been said so many times. 343 Industries has taken the reins handed down by Bungie in this Halo game. People were rightfully worried too, as this had been Bungie's baby for years upon years. I know I waited with bated breath. Could they pull off the next great Halo game? The reviews are in and the people have spoken. All signs point to yes, thankfully. It seems 343 has done what we could only have hoped and successfully transferred the legend of Master Chief from Bungie's loving arms to their own. Tasked with saving the world yet again, Master Chief undergoes yet another action-packed journey. The difference this time is in how human the story is. A story of humanity, self-worth, and right and wrong attempts to bring Master Chief down to a more human level, as well as trying to save his only real human connection in the form of Cortana, a notably non-human character. Grab your beam swords, load your rifles, and ask Cortana where you're going next. Halo 4 hits on November 6th. As I'm sure you all know, Halloween just passed. And while you were all out trick-or-treating with mom and dad, wink wink, I have been truly busy looking for some particular trailer on the internet. That trailer was for Amnesia: Machine of Pigs. Now, I had been begging and praying to the frictional gods to release a new trailer by Halloween, as it seems to be a good motif to go with their game. Well, luckily, Frictional must have heard my pleas and prayers prior to Halloween, as they delivered. Showcasing some room and puzzle fly-throughs with a creepy soundtrack, the new trailer aims to scare. But it's the last half of the trailer that's important. It is pure gameplay. Your character seems to be navigating what looks like a slaughterhouse, and at the end, ends up having to hide from a monster that has yet to be seen. What we do know is that it squeals like a demonic pig from hell and makes me pee myself a few times over. I cannot wait to get my hands on this game, as Amnesia took away hours of my life and then hours of my sleep. Look forward to unraveling the mystery behind the Machine for Pigs, coming in a couple of months. And the final release announcement for the week is Incredibie. But Mathis, what's Incredibie, I hear you say? Well, I'm glad you asked. Incredibie is an evolution and physics-based puzzle game brought to you by Northway Games. You are a green-skinned, one-eyed creature in search of fruit. The fruit is typically somewhere difficult to reach on any said level. How do you get it? And more importantly, how many legs do you need? Yes, at the start of the level, you need to decide how many legs you're going to give your little Incredibie, and how the muscles are going to work. You then use your A and D keys to maneuver your creature to the fruit, and then to the end of the level. It's exceptionally unique with a lot of love and character poured into it. The first 10 or so levels are free at Incredibie.com, and if you want to play the rest of the game, it runs at a $14.99 price point, and comes with the rest of the 60 levels, a sandbox mode, and a level editor. Feel free to check it out right now at Incredibie.com. The PlayStation 4 Developers Kit has shipped to developers this week. More distinctly, the second version of the Developers Kit has shipped, as the first one was shipped earlier this year. It is reported that this version is in fact an actual computer, as opposed to the first version, which was just a graphics card. The third and final version is rumored to ship later next year, and it'll be interesting to see if any screenshots or gameplay ends up getting leaked. Now, is it too early for the next generation of consoles? I've heard this argument plenty of times over the past few months. It seems to have come to a head as far as where we could go graphically, short of photorealism. What kind of graphics can we expect? Will it be as revolutionary as people want, or will it be merely a big step in the AI and programming aspect of game development? There will no doubtedly make it revolutionary as far as marketing is concerned. But I'm curious what your thoughts are. Is it time for a new console? Are we ready as consumers to take the next step? Let me know in the comments below. Last week, we told you about Rhode Island auctioning off most of 38 Studios' belongings, garnering about $85,000. Well, the next step has been taken in this long and painful journey regarding the now defunct game studio. Rhode Island is officially suing Curt Schilling and other executives that belonged to the studio. The economic department put it to a vote whether or not they should take legal action, and it was decided unanimously that they should. Governor Chafee wrote a long letter to the people of Rhode Island saying that this vote was not taken lightly, and it was taken with the clear goal of protecting the taxpayers of Rhode Island. The question now is it fair? This is definitely a sad thing for the game industries, but do you folks think that this is fair to do? It will inevitably end up on the taxpayers' shoulders if the $75 million loan does not get repaid by Schilling or the court ruling. The question is, do you folks think this is a fair step? My opinion is my own, and I think personally that this is a necessary step for Rhode Island to recover the huge loss that they have currently inherited. I'm curious to see how this goes, and as things progress, I will promise to keep you updated. Star Wars 7.
I got a bad feeling about this.
No, seriously. Star Wars freaking 7.
I'm not afraid.
You will be.
In case you weren't aware, I'm glad I could be the one that informed you. George Lucas has sold LucasArts and all of its affiliates and licenses over to Disney, the wonderful company that brought you the Avengers and all of the films leading up to the Avengers. For a mere $4.2 billion, Star Wars and Indiana Jones now belongs to the big mouse and his ears. And it's already been announced that Star Wars 7 is aimed for 2015, the same year the Avengers 2 is going to hit. The real question is, can Disney salvage the crap heap of a story that Lucas left them with? I, for one, am trusting Disney here. Two things come to mind. One, Leia is officially a Disney princess. And two, I want Star Wars in my Kingdom Hearts. And that is going to wrap up this episode of Ready, Set, Game. Not a lot of indie news this week, but that got more than made up for with all the big games and big movie news. I know Star Wars isn't really video game related as far as the news is concerned, but it's Star Wars, and all of you nerds like me should love Star Wars, so I figured that was important. Now, let me know in the comments below what your favorite segment of the video was. What game are you looking forward to the most? What announcement made you the most excited? And I will be featuring some of those quotes on next week's episode.